Hey everyone, Happy New Year. For 2026, Spirit wants all of us to start believing in miracles again. I have believed in miracles at least for several years now on my spiritual awakening journey and twin flame journey because of what I've experienced. Like I have literally witnessed miracles firsthand. I don't know what I thought about them growing up, if I'm being honest. Like, I was taught about all of Jesus's miracles, but I think I probably believed that they happened. But I think that people have a detachment from the religious teachings about, honestly, it's not even just Jesus's miracles, it's other miracles that occur in the Bible stories as well versus present day. It's like people seem to think that the stuff that happened in the Bible, the prophets, the miracles, the healers, it can't happen now. Why not? Why can't it happen now? You know? There are Christian seers who are psychics, but call themselves seers because they think psychics are evil. But really, it's all the same thing, and it's simply a matter of who are you connecting with? What spirits are you connecting with? Are you protected from negative influence? Because the dark, evil demons, whatever, will interfere in, prophets and teachers and psychics and all that stuff. But it's still all the same thing. Everybody who has those gifts is all doing the same thing, regardless of what name you call it, and it's simply a matter of what spirits you're connecting to and if you're protected enough so that you don't have interference. That's really all there is to it. So, if we believe in prophets of the past, why can't there be prophets now? If we believe that miracles really happened in the past, in biblical history, or in other religious histories, why can't they happen now? So I've had a few things happen lately that, even though I believe in miracles, like blew me away. It might seem simple, but it still blew me away because it was like my thought process was just, it's impossible. Like, it's impossible. And I was inspired to talk about it. I I think part of the reason why I'm like literally processing it as I talk, but I was thinking about it the other night because one of them just happened. And I was like, why is Spirit like showing me these blatant miracles? It's like, it's not like I have a problem with faith. Like, I have friends who are having serious triggers about faith. Their faith wounds are being tested. My faith wound is not being tested. Like, I'm fine. I don't have an issue with my faith, with my blind faith in Spirit, in my twin flame, all the stuff. So I was like, why is Spirit like feeling the need to give me examples of miracles? Because these aren't miracles that are like life changing. They're more miracles that are like showing me that Spirit can do anything, absolutely anything. And so I was thinking about that. I'm like, what is Spirit trying to tell me? And I think that what Spirit is trying to tell me is exactly what I just said, actually. That Spirit can do absolutely anything. And you just need to trust it. The more that you can step into an energy and a frequency of that complete 100% faith and trust that God has everything under control, God, Spirit, Jesus, whoever and however you think of it, can literally do absolutely anything and provide for you and give you whatever you need. Keep in mind, it'll be what you need, not what you want. But can literally do anything and give you anything you need. When you can completely trust that and hand that over, that is what opens those pathways. I think that when you are still in any degree of doubt, any degree of uncertainty, that it keeps that door shut, or it keeps it semi-shut. Like, Spirit can't do as much for you if you are at all like, I don't know, I don't trust it, I don't have enough faith. But when you can completely hand that over, I really am believing that Spirit can take care of everything and you don't need to worry. I think for me right now, Nala doesn't like strangers. She barks at them, and I don't want her to bark in the video. I think we're okay. I think they passed. Anyway, I was saying, I think for me, even though I'm not being tested in my faith, I have felt a lot of stress lately, the past 6 months or so. I felt a lot of stress about life overall, and I've been burning myself out because of it. And I think that the reason why Spirit is like making sure that I know that Spirit can do anything is because Spirit's like, let us handle it. Let us take care of you. Trust us. Everything will be okay. You don't need to worry. Stop overstressing yourself. And I think that's what Spirit's trying to tell me. And anyway, while I was having these thought processes driving the other night, I felt like I should talk about this on video, because I feel like if Spirit is trying to get through to me, to get me to see that Spirit's got everything under control, I don't need to worry, hand my stress, hand it all over to God, then I feel like Spirit would want me to share that message, since I didn't even feel like I needed it, but apparently I did. So I wanted to come on here and tell you guys a few stories real quick. I honestly have experienced so much. So my twin flame journey technically it started in 2013, but I didn't know we were twin flames until 2017. It still started in 2013. But I really dove into my spiritual awakening more so once I started learning about twin flames. I did start my spiritual awakening in 2011 after my divorce, but I got deeper into it in 2017. So just my point is simply like the time frame, like definitely the last 8 years, and you could go even longer to the past like 14 years. Can I do math right? Is that right? It doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying though? Even from, actually, if I think back to when I first started realizing my psychic gifts, which was 2012, I think. I mean, I always could kind of tell that I would know things, but Spirit started doing, and maybe this helps some of you too, Spirit started doing little things here and there to get my attention, so to make me see that I really do have psychic gifts. It was stupid stuff. It was silly, stupid stuff. But it would be like Spirit would tell me something, and I would dismiss it. I'd be like, no, that's not or that's not happening, or that's not going to happen, or whatever. And then it did happen. And I'm like, oh. So I'm not going to dive into that stuff. That's a different topic. But, that's another thing, just so you know, if your third eye is expanding, that's the type of thing that can happen. You might start noticing little things like that you'll just have an intuitive knowing, or you'll have a thought come into your head. It's so hard when a thought comes into your head. It could be clairaudience, it could be claircognizance. But clairaudience would be more as if like you didn't already know that, but you like, it's almost like you heard it, like your own voice talking to you. Versus the claircognizance would be more like you just know. So anyway, but yeah, something might just come to you, and then it'll turn out to be true. And those will be the little ways Spirit will start to show you that you have psychic gifts. For me, it was like I was literally leaving for a weekend trip, and I heard about 30 minutes out after we left that the fridge door was open, ajar. Like it didn't shut all the way. And I was like, no. And when we got home, 2 to 3 days later, the fridge door was ajar. And a different time was when my daughter was a toddler. Spirit, I heard a little voice in my head say, you should bring a change of clothes for her today. And I was like, no, I don't want to overpack the bag. It'll be too heavy. And sure enough, within 30 minutes to an hour, I put her on the toilet to pee, and for some reason her pee went straight out instead of down into the toilet and peed on her clothes. And I was like, I need to start listening to the voice in my head. So anyway, I'm going to run out of time. Those are my little psychic stories from when I started to learn. I'll start in the next video, the miracle stories, okay? Okay, so I left off with those little anecdotes about when I started to really notice my psychic gifts. And of course, that was the very, very beginning. I spent a lot of time, practicing, expanding, etc., etc. Come a long way since then. But anyway, the miracle stories is what I wanted to focus on. So I have, the whole reason why I brought up the time frame of 8 to 14 years, whatever it is, was because a lot has happened in that time and I don't remember it all. But I have experienced a lot of things that have just been blatant, outright, miraculous things. Like there's no explanation. It's not possible. And I actually have a close friend who has always, her gifts have always been wide open, and she experiences a lot of things like that. Like stuff that if she told her stories to people, to normal people, they would laugh in her face. They would probably commit her and they would not believe her. And she's completely in her right mind. She just experiences this stuff. So, which story do I want to tell you first? I'm going to do the silliest ones because to me, they're also the most they're the most oh my God, that's impossible. So, I think I've mentioned here and there, I have a side business doing laundry because it's perfect, because I just go pick up the clothes, bring them home, wash them. I can work on my spiritual work at home and just stop and fold laundry when I need to. I've had to rely on that more this year because of the issues with Etsy, but so it's been leaning more on the laundry business. But in any case, that was the intention. It's my side business, side hustle, so I can focus on my spiritual work. So I have some regular clients, and this one in particular, her socks always match. I don't have anybody else whose socks always match, but every single sock always matches. So when she has the socks that don't match, I notice. And a few weeks ago, or a month ago, and then again the other day, I'm folding her clothes. There's a single sock left that doesn't have a match, and I'm like, this is weird. So the time a month ago, I just moved on. Whatever. I packed it up, delivered it. 2 days later, I open the washer for a load of tablecloths, and the freaking sock is sitting on top of the tablecloths in the washer. And I literally gasped. I was like, how is this possible? I investigated the washer. I looked all in it and around it to figure out if there was a way the sock could have been hiding in the washer. I went over everything in my mind about when I had her order versus when I had the other order, if there was any possible way that the sock could have gotten into the tablecloths. And it was 2 days later. I did not have there was a 1 day overlap of when I had one order versus the other order, but the timing of when it was in the washer and dryer versus the other, and that I had already delivered, it wasn't possible. And I just came to realize, I'm like, Spirit is just showing off. Spirit is showing me, we can do whatever we want. And it happened again the other day. I washed her order on Sunday. I washed and folded her order on Sunday. And there was one sock unmatched. And when I was folding a different order on Tuesday, the sock reappeared. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? And once again, I went over it and over it and over it in my mind, and it's not possible. I had not delivered her order yet. I was delivering all of them on Tuesday, but I had folded it and packed it, and it was sitting in bags in my living room from Sunday. And I did not even have the other order yet. I picked up the other order later on Sunday, but after I had already washed her clothes. So her clothes were already in the washer, and I left the house and went and got the other order. And I didn't even get around to washing that order until late Monday night, and I folded it on Tuesday, and the sock appeared. And again, going over it, is there possible there's an overlap? Is there possible the sock could have somehow mysteriously gotten? No, it's not. It's really not. And I actually had a really busy week with that. I went through like 100 pounds 2 or 3 days in a row. And I went through several orders before I got to that one. So why wouldn't have been in one of those? Like, it doesn't make sense. So that's why I was thinking, like, it's simply not possible. So what is Spirit trying to show me here? That they can literally do anything. They can make a sock disappear into thin air and reappear 2 days later in a different bag of clothes. So that is stupid but insane. like I said, it's just Spirit showing off. Actually, that made me think of another story of Spirit showing off. And this actually pertains to twin flames. When my twin flame and I separated, and he moved out back in 16, around the weekend or so after he moved out, Spirit aligned for us to randomly run into each other at the same location across the county. Like, I went there for like a christening celebration. I never go there. Literally never go there. I went there on this one occasion for a christening celebration, and I did know that it was a location that he has for work that he'd have to service at times, but it was a Sunday. There shouldn't have even been service. And he called me while I was parking to ask me a question, and of course, where are you? What's going on? What are you up to? I'm at Gulfstream. What are you talking about? I'm at Gulfstream. I'm like, seriously? He's like, I wasn't even supposed to be on call, but so-and-so couldn't do it, so I was on call, and they have an emergency, and I'm here. I'm like, I'm parking and walking in. And he literally drove right by me. And I knew right then, Spirit was telling me, we can orchestrate you two reuniting whenever you are meant to and are supposed to. So don't worry about it. Like, literally had us, not only did we run into each other there where I'm like, there was no reason, I'm never there, but also him calling me when I'm parking and walking in. Like, that was also Spirit putting in his head, like, thinking about me, call her, So I want to try not to go on for too long. So let me continue my stories. This one, I couldn't tell you for 100% certainty, but I'm pretty sure. Remember Jesus' story about he was feeding like thousands of people on a mountain, and he had 2 loaves of bread and a fish or something like that, and he made it multiply and fed all these thousands of people, or hundreds, or whatever it was. So basically he multiplied the food. Pretty sure he did that for a couple months for me, October and November, with my dog's treats. She has these long soft sticks that I get for her, and I break them in half, and I give her one a day, half a day, I should say. There's 10 sticks, so that should be 20 days worth by breaking it in half, and I give her half a day. October and November, I had a full month's worth. Like, I get to the end of the month, and it was lasting through the end of the month instead of the 20 days. And I was like, how the fuck is this possible? Like, I was like, I don't understand what is happening. And then in December, I made it a point to count, because I was so, like, is Jesus multiplying her treats? And of course in December, it only lasted the 20 days, because I was watching it. I was counting and I was watching it. And I was like, you weren't you? Like, and I feel like part of the purpose of that was for me to see the difference of it lasted a month for 2 months straight, and then it only lasted 20 days. It was like to get me to see it and know it. To go on to a third video or to not go on to a third video, that is the question. I want to tell you a quick story. So I will go on to the third video to tell you a quick story about playing the lottery or similar types of things real quick. So come back for that one. Okay, so when it comes to money, I have seen miracles when it comes to money. I'm not going to get into all of them because money is also a sensitive topic. I will say that, like I said in the first video, Spirit will give you what you need, not what you want. So Spirit's not going to like give you thousands, millions of dollars that you don't need. Spirit will make sure that you have everything that you need, but and I don't think it will be not a penny more, but I think it will be enough for you to feel comfortable and not stressed, but not so much that you have too much, basically. Especially if you wouldn't use it in ways that are of service to the world. If you would use it selfishly, then I don't think that Spirit would give it. Spirit wants to make sure that you have what you need so that you don't feel stressed, and to help you be of service, basically. I have seen many examples over the last 8 years of larger sums of money coming to people, to myself and to other people that I know, exactly when they need it. The exact amount that they need, like literally the exact amount that they need at the exact time that they need it. And in those different examples, it has been, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I was going to say, don't do it. I was going to say, it's not necessarily cash. Spirit will make sure you have what you need, but it won't necessarily be how you think it will come. You might think it has to be cash, but Spirit will make sure that there's a means to you receiving what you need. So, like one girl, she received a credit card approval for the exact amount that she needed. So it could be cash. It could be a credit card approval or other types of loan approvals. Like there's not even just the traditional loans anymore. Like you can use Affirm and Klarna and Afterpay and ShopPay and all these different things to do payment plans nowadays. So it could be approval on stuff like that too. It could be gift cards. It could be just anything that is a means to provide you with what you need. So keep that in mind, because you don't want to close yourself off to how these things can come through. What else was I just going to say? You don't want to close yourself off to how things can come through, and just be open to anything. I really do believe that Spirit, in the course of your spiritual awakening journey, is also like deprogramming us for how money should work and how money should be handled. We have been taught that it should be a certain way, but Spirit is literally like changing it around on me and the people that I know to be like, don't stress so much about the future. We are taking care of you. We've got it handled. You don't need to worry about that. Trust it. Do what you need to do. We will make sure that you have what you need, the resources that you need, however they may come, to do what you need to do in the present, and trust that you will be taken care of in the future. And I will say, with my work, I am Capricorn, I'm type A, I'm OCD, I'm science-based, evidence-based. I'm all the things that would make it so hard for me as a single parent to put my trust in my income coming from my own business instead of a guaranteed fixed income. But Spirit literally taught me over the years, we're taking care of you. You don't need to worry. Like, it literally took like 2 years, a 2-year process of Spirit teaching me this. And it happened by means of like, so at first I would get a lot of anxiety, of course. If I wasn't getting like the income coming in, the orders that I needed or whatever, I would get anxiety. And what would happen is that certain events would occur over a week or two that would cause disruption to my schedule, and I would realize, I wasn't getting orders because Spirit knew that I wouldn't be able to fulfill them in this week or 2 weeks or whatever. And then as soon as that passed, I would get a rush of orders. And it showed me like Spirit is just timing when I receive what I need, because Spirit knows best when I need it. And that process over time taught me that I could trust. I could put my faith and trust in allowing my business to lead and in relying on what the hell is that? I think that was a duck or something falling out of a tree. I don't know. Anyway. So over time, Spirit taught me to trust that I can rely on my business and I can rely on my, independent work and not need to work for somebody else, which is it's a significant part of my individual path too, of breaking free from the system. But anyway, but that's how Spirit taught me, and I don't even get anxiety now. Like, my anxiety is more to do with the Etsy issues, but I know that Spirit will always make sure I'm okay. And it's just, like I said, I've seen it happen over and over again with money. I've seen people get the approvals or the gift cards or the gifts. It could also be gifts from, like, oh, my mom gave me this amount of money, or my sister or whoever. Like, it could also be gifts from people. So trust that when it comes to money. Now, I know I said I was going to talk about the whole lottery thing. I don't actually have a specific lottery story, but I have a gambling story. Sorry, hold on. My family does an annual bowl bonanza, which is like all the different college football games. We pick who we think's going to win, and everybody throws in $10, and whoever gets the most right picks wins the pot. So when I first started using my pendulum, and I knew it was accurate, I was like, I'm going to use my pendulum to make my picks. I'm thinking like, oh, this should definitely get me the win. This is how I learned that Spirit will do what you need, not necessarily what you want. So the thing that we do, the way we do this, the person who gets the most right picks wins the pot. The person who gets the least amount of correct picks gets their $10 back. And I actually never pay. My parents put in the $10 for me and my daughters, so I never even pay the $10. So what happened that year was I used the pendulum to make all of my picks, and I came in dead last. And I laughed. I laughed out loud when I realized what happened. I was like, well played, Spirit. Well played. And I immediately got the message too, like, you are not meant to use, why can't psychics play the lottery? It can help them a little bit. I have heard some stories that it can help them a little bit, but why can't they play for like the big wins or whatever? Because you are not meant to use your gifts for that purpose. You need to trust that you will be provided for. God will take care of you in miraculous ways, including bringing money to you in forms such as the lottery or whatever. But don't allow spirits to be in control of that. Don't you try and force it. And what cracked me up too is that not only I came in dead last, but I did win. I won $10 because I got the $10 back, but I hadn't put it in the first place, so I won $10. I didn't win $200. I won $10. So I still won, but it wasn't winning in the way that I thought I would, and it was Spirit teaching me a lesson about how you're meant to use your gifts and trusting. So anyway, I can't remember if I had more stories, but I mean, I do have them, but I can't think of them right now. I just trust me when I tell it. And I have also witnessed miraculous healing as well. Like, you guys, most of you probably know or have experienced when you receive spiritual healing work, like Reiki or other types of spiritual healing work. Sometimes you can feel the practitioner working on you. You can feel the difference in your body. Like, I've certainly had lots of clients tell me that they have felt it, like literally while I'm doing it, they felt it on their bodies. And I've had people who had their back pain go away. Right? That happened to me. I did a healing on my own back because I couldn't move. And I literally pulled the pain out of my back and I could instantly get up and walk again. So I've experienced that. But separate from that, there other types of miraculous healings that literally form changing or whatever. I know stories about that too. But so just basically, because I want to wrap up here, I need to wrap up here. Just believe it. Anything is possible. Put your complete faith and trust in Spirit and know that everything will be okay. Actually, no, I just remembered the other story, the last story that I wanted to share. I can't believe I forgot it. I did not want to have to do another video, but this is going to be super quick because I'm just going to tell this story. I have one more miracle with money that I have to share. I cannot believe I forgot it. Oh, I went on about all the other stuff. because this one was more of a priority in my head, and of course I forgot it. Okay, I have to tell you the story because it's that good. About a year ago, I want to say it was September of 2024, I was balancing my bank account. I have a spreadsheet that I use to do that instead of a checkbook register. So I was balancing my bank account versus like expected expenses and budget, etc., whatever. What I said in the other video, like, I'm Capricorn, I'm type A, I'm OCD, I'm all the things. I'm very anal retentive about this. Like, it has to be perfect. It has to be an exact match. My OCD has even been flaring up. Don't do it. And like, I've been really bad about things needing to be like perfectly aligned, perfectly in sync because my OCD. And I was balancing my budget and it would not balance. Like, there was, the amount was insignificant. It was like $13 and something cents or something. I don't remember the exact amount, but I'm just saying, like, it was a small insignificant amount. It wasn't enough to like make a big deal about or to change my life. But it was still like, it wasn't like pennies. It was enough, and I had that much more. So I had like, actually I think I want to say it was 11, which is more significant of a number, actually, now that I think about it. But anyway, I want to say it was like $11 and something, maybe it was 13 cents instead, more that I had. And I went back, like, I couldn't let it go. I went back and I went over and over and over everything for months worth of deposits and expenses. And I try to keep up with this monthly because if it gets too like out of hand, it's harder to catch up. So I also knew that, well, I had last balanced it like a month or two before, so it shouldn't, and it was balanced. It balanced correctly, at that time. So it would only be a difference within the last month or two. I went over everything with a fine-tooth comb, and I could not find it. I could not find a reason or why I had $11 more in my bank account than what I should. And I literally, never in my life, literally wrote in my spreadsheet, deposited by God. Deposited by God, $11.13 or whatever it was. And I could not find an explanation for it. So that is my last example of a miracle, a money miracle from God, from Jesus, from Spirit. Guys, that I said that weird. That I work directly with Jesus and Divine Father, Divine Mother, Source Energy. I say that whole thing because I feel that it's Source, but it's easier for me and most to connect as Divine Father. And then I also recognize the balance with Divine Mother. So I say Divine Father, Divine Mother, Source Energy. Anyway, I connect directly to them. That is who I work with. Part of the reason why, like, I know between that and my protections, I know that I'm receiving accurate information. And I just, like, deposited by God because I don't know how else. So anyway, I had to tell you that story too because it was too good not to share. So like I was saying, and I can wrap up properly, I guess. Like I was saying, I really feel that Spirit is really trying to hammer that message home to a lot of us now. Like, anything is possible. Spirit is in control. I think that's the other side of that. The flip side of the coin of anything is possible is Spirit is in complete control of everything. People want to believe that because of free will, we have more control than we do. I really don't. It's complex when you get into the different soul growth programs. Like, every soul is at a different stage of development, basically. Those who are in the soul growth program, or soul mastery program, the soul mastery program, they have more free will controlling their lives than those in the twin flame mastery program, and then those in the ascended master program. The people in the ascended master program, they have complete 100% soul will overriding everything. And the people in the twin flame mastery program, they are walking a balance between free will and soul will. Ultimately, soul will overrides for twin flames in their union year, especially. But I feel that over the course of your entire ascension cycle, there's a balance there between the free will and the soul will that has to be found as you're going through your awakening process and you're handing your power and trust over to your soul and to spirit. So it's complex. I also think of it like we're in a video game and our soul is the one playing the game and we are the avatars in the game, doing the stuff. Kind of like Jumanji, actually. I realized Jumanji is telling you that. Anyway, so that's where you need to trust that your soul and God and spirit, your spirit team, they are the ones who are in control of everything. Especially if you're here, you're on a twin flame journey pretty much, right? You're ascending. Your soul's got everything under control. Trust spirit, trust your higher self, trust your soul. Know that literally anything is possible. Miracles are possible. They happen all the time. And hand it over to God. Hand it over to your soul and to God, and know that everything will be okay and everything will work out how it's supposed to. Okay, I really have to go, and it's getting dark. Can you even see me anymore? I'll talk to you guys later. Happy New Year again. So I was driving and spirit started talking to me in my head. Kind of. It's not exactly how it worked, but that's just what I'm going to go with here. So, and I need to add a couple addendums to this. So first of all, I didn't finish saying the money deposited by God in my bank account because it wasn't a large sum. I knew that was also spirit showing off and saying see, look what we can do if we want to. So trust us, kind of thing. Also, handing it over to spirit does not mean that you never need to take action. And that's an important point to remember. It doesn't mean you just sit back and spirit will do everything for you. You have to work together with spirit on creating the life that you're meant to live, following your soul-led path. So it means stop trying to force and control things because of fear-based energy, and also stop letting fear hold you back. What you have to do is, honestly, you have to learn how to connect with your intuition or connect with your spirit guides, whether it's an intuitive knowing or it's literally learning how to talk to your spirit guides, which you can do. You can do through meditation. You can do with the pendulum. I do both. And you follow intuitive nudges or guidance or outright directions on what actions to take and when, okay? The key is not letting it be ego-driven or fear-based driven. It's intuitively driven, or like I said, outright directions from your spirit guides. But yeah, things will not just happen without you doing anything also. So working together with spirit on that. Trusting in spirit and believing in miracles requires us to basically turn off logical thinking and deprogram ourselves from what we were taught and conditioned to believe is and isn't possible, because miracles don't make sense. Spirit doesn't make sense. I mean, hello, there is an invisible realm of angels, fairies, elementals, demons, good spirits and bad spirits all around us, and we just can't see it. It's invisible to us. Galactic beings and aliens too. We know for a fact, scientifically, somehow, that animals can see and hear things that we can't as humans. All of that exists. It's just about deprogramming what we're taught is and isn't possible. Miracles aren't possible by definition. Miracles don't make sense. So having that faith and believing in those miracles, you have to turn off the logical thinking and forget about what does and doesn't make sense. Plus, spirit knows things that we don't also. And you have to just believe in the impossible. And yeah. So anyway, this reminded me, I saved a video from a spiritual teacher about his story of miracles. I'm going to post that after this as well, because it blew me away, him following spirit's directions and miracles occurring. So anyway, hope this helped you guys.